Hello, everybody, and welcome to day two of this Automation Star Conference 2024, reporting directly from Vienna in Wien via Sprechen von Wien. I need to start trying to speak in German until I really nail my German. But anyway, welcome to the first interview of the day. We're gonna have several today, lots of adventures, and there's going to be my talk later. There's going to be more stuff that's not streamed. But for now, I have for you one of the presenters of the day, one of the stars here in Automation Star. Pun intended? Not intended, but was an accident. Adam, welcome. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Second day, so like the energy level is still high, but getting like lower and lower. Waiting till I get some rest. We had a conversation about that a moment ago, but yeah, good, very good. Thank
We're
you.
trying to keep it up with some caffeine and some good vitamins and stuff. So we're all powered up and ready for this. Now, my first question, Adam, I didn't dare to try. How do I pronounce your last name?
Okay, it's Matłacz, Adam Matłacz.
Matłacz.
Yeah, then my surname has this Polish letter, which is only in Polish language. Very easy language. I encourage everybody to learn it. It's a lot of fun, right? When you hear stuff like stół z podłamywanymi nogami, or rozrewolwerowany rewolwerowiec, rozrewolwerowo urewolwerowanego rewolwerowca, or stuff like that. It's really nice.
Okay, I'm sure people back at his home knew what he was saying. Let us know if he was just making up things, it sounded to me, but he sounded very sure of himself while he was.
Mhm.
I'm sorry that
Yeah,
that's
no,
how
no.
it sounded to me.
I understand fully. Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it up to just Adam for now because I know I'm gonna mess it up. Very bad with these names that are not español and yeah. So first of all, amigo Adam, how do you say amigo in Polish?
Przyjaciel?
Przyjaciel?
Przyjaciel.
Przyjaciel.
Amigo is friend, right?
Yeah.
So przyjaciel.
Przyjaciel.
Also, again, R and Z, it's ż, and przyjaciel has a ż inside. But it's like you make it softer, so it sounds like sh, which is s. Okay.
Oh my
Yes.
God! No, well,
You.
I'll keep it up, amigo.
Yeah.
I was trying to make it, but no.
Mhm.
Yeah, Polish is gonna be interesting. Challenge accepted, eventually. But as you all saw, first German, then we'll try some other things. Okay, next question, amigo Adam. For the people that do not know you, do not know your trajectory, what have you been up to, and mostly, why are you up here in this conference? What makes you special? Do you mind sharing with the audience?
Okay. Hi, I'm Adam. I have around 14 years experience in IT, and it's half and half. Half of my experience is in testing. Half of my experience is in like agile frameworks, project leadership, and stuff like that. Right. But testing was always close to my heart, even though I don't actively test for some years right now. I still quite active in community and conferences like that. I had my podcast some time ago, that gives me like additional boost of energy, and that's also how I try to transform my experience which I had with development software and the different organization in which I work, to how to transfer it to community and to people that are there and starting their career or working in testing and make their life easier, right? What makes me special? Not much, but maybe my ADHD, which also gives me sometimes the power and my speed of talking sometimes.
It's funny because speaking of ADHD here as
Mhm.
well, many of the interviewees, presenters, and in the QA community, we're all special in those ways, and then many others. But
Mhm.
yeah, you know what I mean. But it's super interesting that you also seem to have passion for sharing, helping, giving back to the world. I didn't know you had a podcast. Had or still have?
Had, and I think it's right now even offline because I had it's like 5 years ago. I recorded around 10 episodes, interviews, even with people like Michael Bolton on James Bach
Oh my God.
people like that. But I had to pay for hosting. So at some point I just stopped since I didn't had plans to record anymore. But it was a fun thing, like for as a person with HD, you have a passion. It lasts
Yeah.
for some time, and then
Squirrel,
you
and then you forget.
switch to a next thing that is like, I don't know, canoeing or whatever.
Shiny new object,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
keep following it. Yeah, I feel you. It's been interesting to keep up like with new interests and things, but we are still here doing interviews. And just a quick recommendation: upload them to YouTube. They don't charge, and you just leave your episode up there if you still have them.
Sorry, what?
Your podcasts, your episodes,
My
upload
podcast.
them to YouTube, no paying,
Ah,
and you have them for the world to experience. Because I would
okay,
like to hear them.
okay,
I look forward to it.
sure.
Adam, you'd better. Everybody, he said sure. On camera, this is legal stuff, no?
Okay.
So I'm curious of what drew you to sharing with the community, not only the ADHD, but why did you one day woke up and said like, I'm gonna help people, I'm gonna share with the community and build a community?
I wonder, should I start with like the really beginnings or with the Eurostar? Because with the Eurostar, it's a funny story actually.
Bring it on,
I
bring
will
it
start
on.
with the
Yeah,
Eurostar.
yeah, yeah.
So I first came to a Eurostar, I think in 2018 as a participant, and the conference, it's, let's be honest, it's not cheap, right? The tickets are not very cheap, right? And my company had this policy that they always send only one person, and if you ask this year, then you will not go next year. Next year it will be somebody else, right? Like a prize or something, whatever.
Mhm.
But I said, okay, I really want to go for a next conference, right? But how can I get a ticket? I can apply as a speaker because then I get a free ticket, right? So then I applied, and from that point, I think I was on every Eurostar from 2018. I only missed one.
All of them presenting.
But all of them presenting something for free. So I encourage everybody to
Submit
apply,
your
call for
proposal.
papers, right? Because it's also great experience, not only as a participant, but for at Eurostar as a speaker as well, right? So it you feel that they do everything for you to feel comfortable, feel good, feel that you're not alone here, right? They're very supportive. So that's also why I'm getting back to Eurostar and not necessarily to other conferences. This is like my conference of choice. So that's one thing, like that motivates me to share with the community, that I really like the atmosphere here. But it's not only about like the Eurostar, it's also about like the workshop that I do outside of this conference. I like the energy that I get from the people, right, when I cooperate with them. But also what is important, and that might be surprising, that on workshops I feel that I develop my skills as well, right? So I come to the workshop with my knowledge, and that's why also I prefer workshops than just talks, right? Because on workshop I have interaction with people, right? And this is really important for me, that I share some knowledge, but then I ask, okay, so what's your perspective? And then it's not me, it's like 20 people, 30 people, 90 people in the room. So I have 90 people heads that can share some their own experiences, their own use cases, right? And then I didn't thought that you could do it that way, right? So I go out from the workshop with better knowledge than I came in, right? So that might be surprising, but that's also something that is really motivating me.
It's very interesting that you don't use the workshop that much to teach people. I mean, it's part of what you do, but you use it to learn yourself. It's I never thought of it that way because, yeah, many people come with different perspectives, experiences, and we all have our own chirpy ways of solving problems. And I'm sure you have learned a lot. What has been an interesting learning that you have had from presenting your tutorials and workshops?
So even this year on Eurostar, so not Automation Star, but on Eurostar, I gave a tutorial about Gen AI, and I was asking participants, so how do you use, if you use it in your own life, and do you have like something that to share? And this was this guy from, I think he was from Pakistan, right? So a country that is well known for its democratic situation, right? And basically what he has done, he had passion, he had knowledge, but he didn't have technical skills to develop apps. So he used LLMs to create this website, where he also used LLMs to like transfer data about elections, about like affiliations of people that were participating in the election and so on, upload it, so people were better informed before voting for
Building awareness.
building awareness of what are the political stance of people that you will vote for, right? So basically, it means that LLMs and technology empowered people. So it's not used like only for business, but you can also get people empowered to change the world into more democratic, more better place, thanks to enabling and getting technology to, oh my god, making it easier for everybody to use, right, and create.
Approachable.
Yeah, more. Thank you. I was missing that. Approachable, right?
Interesting. It sounds your experience and learning from these. You make me think of all these things like the Cambridge Analytica thing that happened. I think it was 6 years ago, something like that.
Mhm.
And nowadays that we see with deep fakes, all these fake news and all these things that you can do, but this was used in the opposite direction, like building no true news, not fake news. I
Each
don't know what's the
coin
opposite.
has two sides, right? And it's like with the hammer. You can nail. You can
Hammer and nail.
hammer a nail. You can hammer a nail, right? You can use it for good, and you can also kill somebody with it, right? So
Mhm.
basically, tool is just the tool. It's more about the human and the intention, right? So the more people like you or me go to conference and spread the good use cases and
All the knowledge,
all the
all
knowledge,
our
yeah,
experiences.
our experiences, right? The better outcome we'll get at the end, I think, right?
It's funny that the biggest example and what comes to your mind right away is from someone that is not so technical or super like deep into the code and things like that. It's an interesting take because the ones, yeah, are you a coder? Then I'll pay attention to you. Are you
Mhm.
a, I don't know, secretary or
Mhm.
someone that doesn't? But I have good ideas. Okay, tell me more. That's a very interesting thing that with LLMs and all the modern AI things, GPTs, this is enabling a lot of people that we didn't pay attention to probably, and now they can do amazing things, right?
Yes, that's true. And I had a similar perspective a few years ago when I was working for Coders Lab, and then I was teaching testing right there. And very often the participants of my courses were people like you mentioned, secretary, or I was working in, I don't know, a shop as a or as accountant or whatever, right? And
Hmm.
they wanted to go to IT, right? So they assigned themselves for courses, and they were very afraid. So will I find? Do I have any qualities that will be useful in the testing industry, in the technological world? Since I'm not like a tech person, right? And I said, come on, use your domain knowledge that you have, because you have skills that you might not be aware of, right? If you were accountant for many years, then maybe you will be a great tester in a financial industry, right, and stuff like that, right? If you were I don't know, working in a retail, then maybe in a retail industry you can be a tester and also get the insights that nobody else can have because you have years of experience in that industry, right? So that's the thing, that you can try to transform your daily experiences into something good and better in completely different area, right? And that's also something that might happen in the world of automation, right? So
Hmm.
we're automating stuff, automating positions that typically were taken by people like the shopkeeper, right? Right now you have in almost every shop the self
Self
checkout,
checkout,
yeah,
yeah.
self checkouts and so on. So people, some people might lose jobs, right? But they can find themselves then in a different industry, like a technological industry, which actually is even paid better. So maybe the
Hmm.
outcome, the final outcome of the automatization might be better than we expect, right? And that's my hope, and that's also something that I try to bring to the conference to show the possibilities, right?
And it's something beautiful, I think, and it's great that you bring more awareness. I hope that someone that is not from the IT realm is watching us and tuning in, because if any, once I join the QA, I don't know, team, all this family, the QA family, because it's like family, Fast and Furious thing.
Mhm.
Um, I noticed that the entry bars are pretty low if you want to start, I don't know, with manual testing or defining testing strategies. You don't need to truly be like a wizard technologically. As long as you understand the context of a business, you're a very good asset to start defining requirements. What are best practices? What should we test for? What is the expected outcome? Because many times with the testers, we know testing, we know how to do validations, but how does the, I don't know, the horse manure retail business works? There must be an expert somewhere there. I mean, I came with the
Mhm.
wildest example I
Mhm.
could think of,
Mhm.
but um, there are some things that, yeah, of course, we have no idea. I had the experience to be in rocket science testing those type of things. I'm like, yeah, of course, this is out of my field. I do we have experts here? Of course, there were experts there, and it's something that I love that you present it as encouraging. Of course, the pay benefits of sometimes are better, and you can enter, start trying, just doing procedures, best practices. As long as you are a little bit ADHD again and very OCD, like observant to details, you're already halfway there with QA, and then you can build and develop the skills, automation, and coding.
That's important part here, right? So it's not for me like when people, as I said at the beginning, they were discouraged. So I try to encourage them that there might be an asset, because it's not about like how good you are today. It's about how quickly you are able to adapt and learn new skills and do that, right? And especially today with technology like LLMs, which when you don't have the technical skill, you can use the LLM to explain it to you, right?
Mhm.
So and that's also what I teach on my courses, right? When you like, I don't know, have to write a simple script and you have no coding experience, first you can ask LM to write the script and then please explain it to me step by step, right? So if you have this courage to try, but also curiosity to learn, right? These
Mhm.
two assets, these two values are great assets, even bigger than knowing Python or something, right? So it's more important that you have courage and curiosity than if you know Python, C, assembler, or whatever, right? Because that you can learn later.
Fortunately, some of these coding tools or languages are kind of easier and more. I mean, in the old days, trying to learn assembler, that was an interesting challenge. But nowadays, Python or things like Cucumber, I remember that the language that you can use is language. Just you're typing whatever you are usually would type on a, I don't know, a Word document, but it's a test script that you can keep moving. And that's a very good point. Like, hey, what is this? I don't know, negative testing thing. GPT, any chat, any LLM can tell you, like, yeah, the principle is this. I have had that experience where I already read a book on Docker, and I'm like, yeah, but I still don't feel like, hey, GPT, what's the deal with this concept?
Mhm.
Brum. Can you make it more digestible for like a 4-year-old? Yeah, and it was silly because, yeah, when you have like a pony and you want to load stuff on it and connect, and I'm like, wow, this is like Dora the Explorer explanation with the monkey and everything. I'm like, cool.
I had exactly the same example on my tutorial
Oh
because
boy, I'm spoiling it.
when I was preparing my tutorial, I want to ask GPT, please explain to me what's the difference between like different levels, so AI, machine learning, deep learning, and but explain it to me like to 6-year-old, and it starts saying, okay, so imagine that AI it's like a dragon, right, and there's a witch, and okay.
Oh, so I'm not the
Yeah,
only one
yeah, yeah, yeah,
asking
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
this type of
Mhm,
explanations. And now jumping that now that
mhm,
you mentioned what you were presenting here at Automation
mhm.
Star, uh, what was the title?
Beyond backhand, what AI and LLMs is bringing to our purpose, right? So because like I was initially preparing this presentation for Eurostar when the theme of Eurostar was what's our purpose as a
Hmm.
testers, right? So I was trying to connect like purpose of a tester or like a manual tester, a person that is like a standalone in the project, and how AI is transforming that role today, right? So how it can look right now and how it might look in the future when the LLMs will be developing, right?
Wow.
Mhm.
So in the tutorial, did you do exercises where you trying to things? Can you spoil it a little bit
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
to
yeah, yes. So
engage people to come next year at Eurostar?
yes, and I might as well just say in the beginning, which is typically a surprise, but it shows like what's the main message that I want to show. Because I start the tutorial with a magic trick. And then I say what's like the behind the curtains happening in the magic trick, and show that actually it's not a magic anymore. It's just math, just mathematical
Hmm.
equation that you do at some point, right? And then I say it's exactly the same with the AI, because AI basically, what you go to the very basic level, it's a high school math where you have like number of inputs that you multiply by some weights. You get at the end some kind of output which is random, to some degree random, right? And that's how LLMs works. They generate for you random data, right? So very smart data based on like billions of strings of knowledge gathered and scrapped from the internet, but still it's a random output, at least today, right?
I love how you present it because yes, indeed, it
Uh-huh.
works as a big, wide fan of random possibilities
Mhm.
that are narrowed down to probably what will suit you,
Yeah,
and it's all
something that
probabilities.
should suit you. That's the thing, right? So they want to predict what you would expect as an output, right? And that's the only thing it does, right? It doesn't do any thinking. Well, the new models right now are starting to implement, you could say, something that you could call thinking, but till now all of the even the ChatGPT 4.0, right, so the most advanced one, were just generating random strings that are the most probable outcome that you were expecting from it, right? Yeah, but and many people treat this as a black box, right? So I go to this like an oracle. I ask question and I get the answer from the oracle, right? But behind the curtain, there's just like a big matrix of numbers that is like
It's a
getting.
roulette. Just
Yeah.
does this work for him? Okay, I'll give it.
Yeah. So nobody will give you exact explanation why you got this output, because like it's so, the matrix is so big that no human being would be able to grasp with his or her head. But at the same time, if you ask the engineer that built it, how does it work in like case of like understanding algorithms, it's basic high school math. It's a high school level math, seriously, right? So
But
that's the thing.
but still, the funny thing is that even the engineer that wrote that math, that algorithm, sometimes is not entirely sure what was the precise path.
Never, they are never. You are not able to know what is the precise path. That's the thing, right? It's so complicated. It's just like you take the simple example and add layer on it and add layer on it. And so at some point it's so complicated that you don't like understand what was the direct path of the output that got to you, right? But at the same time, when you try to pull this and divide it and conquer these two smaller problems, then each of these small problems is understandable, right? And simple.
That is in part why when you repeat the same question to a LLM, you will never ever get the exact same thing, because it's just trying these random possibilities and trying to narrow down to what were you expecting. And have you ever read Isaac Asimov, I,
Uh,
Robot, and things like that?
yeah, I think I read some of his books. I don't think I read iRobot, but
Foundation.
Foundation, yes.
That's a
Foundation,
famous one.
yes.
Yeah, not many robots in that one, but no. In some of his novels, there was a character that was a robot psychologist, because the positronic brains were so advanced that the ones that created them didn't know exactly how it worked, even as they knew the paths, the algorithms. The brain was going in crazy ways. It brings me like every time that I hear someone mentioning this, it's like, man, that Asimov guy was way ahead of his time. But it's interesting how indeed that's how it works. And if you ask many of the creators of the models, they're like, I don't know, but the thing just decided. I just created the decision principles, but the thing went its own way, right?
Yeah.
And so, what was the, I don't know, outcome, the people in your tutorial, what did they get out of it? What was their biggest learning, would you say?
So I think that every person gets their own
Different.
takeaways, different takeaways, right? That they can have. Some people might start using this in their daily life, so not necessarily for testing, but for automating stuff like writing emails, responding to stuff, generating some texts, and me, for example, I use it not only for work, but also my son is 9 years old right now, and I'm not sure if we have this concept in English. In Polish, there are like letters like U, that is U, which is open, and U, which is closed. So it's like two letters, and depending on the word, sometimes you put one, and sometimes you put another. But when you pronounce it exactly the same way.
Oh my
Polish,
God.
very simple language. I encourage everybody to learn it, right? But basically, we when we are children, we learn about like these different
Those
examples,
differences.
right? So the teacher each week gave like to to children number of words that they have to learn, and to learn it's better to put the word in the context. So what I have done, I have took the list of these numbers of this name, this word, sorry, put it in LLM and said, please, my son is learning this, so could it be build a sentence, with that word, but remove that word, so put an empty space there, right? And then put in a separate row explanation of the word, but without using the word, right? And then I print this table, give it to my son, and say, okay, so practice. He tries to fill it, right, and then he can check it with the appropriate and right letters, right? So you can use it like in your private life, right?
Wow.
Some of the people, and I know it from the tutorial because we had the conversations later, use it for automation, right? So they have some scripts, they write them manually, right? But they can do the review of the code with the LLMs. They can help generate ideas for new test scripts, right? And then write them manually or write them with the help and support of LLMs, right? So
Something interesting there. On one hand, that AI is teaching children. It's borderline scary, but you are guiding it, so you have control. But you got me thinking. AI and these LLMs are very useful for idea generation, brainstorming. I think that's what I have seen people using them the most for, and that even I, myself, I'm like, hey, 10 ideas for a good conference talk. uh, Not that I do that much, but what can I write about? Good video, good test automation that I could use. Like, give me 10 things that we can start doing in our projects. And I think those uses that are more generic, random, we get so much benefit of this randomness. It's, I think, quite amazing. I'm just noticing we need to start ramping down this talk. It's so much fun, and we could be hours and hours keep going on this. But I wanted to ask you as well. I know that you have some entrepreneurial things. What are you doing in that realm that you would like to share with the world?
So I work in two places. One is corporation, and second one is my startup. And the startup is the thing that motivates me the most, right? It's called Space to Grow, and
Check it out.
yeah, check it out. It's basically initially it works very similar to Coach Hub. So basically, when you need coaching, you go to the place, you fill out some survey, we pair you with the best coach for your purposes. But we want to, and that's my role. That's how I join it, right? My role is to add a little bit more technology to it, so there'll be more value from the platform itself and from the data that you have there than just from the conversation. Because typical coaching process looks like that you have every 2 weeks for half a year a coaching session, right? That takes you like 1 hour, but when you need a support between these sessions, you don't have that, right? So here we want to provide you with some insights and use the LLMs to give you these insights, and maybe also implement something like an AI coach, where you could have a conversation with a very specific LLM built for your purposes, and knowing you, knowing your company, knowing like some more information, because then the information that you will get out from it are more specific and more addressing your current problem. Because like when you said about like generating ideas for talks, right? It's, if you put just from give me 10 ideas for talk for a conference, it will be very generic, right? If you say give me 10 ideas for automation star conference, it will be a little more specific but still generic. If you say I'm a specialist in this field and generate me 10 ideas for
And
this
I am
conference,
this old, I am a man, I'm white skin, and no,
stuff
you
like
can
that,
have those.
stuff like that, right? It's more specific, and same goes with Space to Grow, right? So if there will be more context about your company, you maybe your peer reviews and so on, then when you will have a conversation with this AI coach, right, it will be more I would say it tailored to you, your needs and your problems, and you can have this support 24 hours a day, right? So you don't have to wait for 2 weeks for a next session, because you can have it in the middle of the night when tomorrow I have a presentation, I'm very stressed, so please help me how I can get lower my stress levels, right? And he can just guide you through the conversation.
Sounds like a true story that has already happened.
Not I used it yesterday like that. No, I'm kidding. But something like that, right? So this kind of support that you can get from the platform, and then we are not removing human from the occasion. You still have the human coach, but it's like moving the needle and saying now technology can give you more support and more value that you didn't have before.
You are boosting the power of the human coach through these AI models.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I love it. Silly question. Do you give service in everyone in the world, or how is the reach?
We can give it to everyone in the world. Right now, our clients are mainly. This is a small startup, right? Our clients
You're
are
starting.
mainly
No, no,
from
no
Poland.
small startup,
Yeah.
growing startup.
We have one client from Mexico, actually,
No
right?
way.
So if you are from any other
Not me.
country, it's
Yet.
not, yeah, yeah. So if you are from any other country, we can onboard you, right? And that's fine. Just right now, the clients are mostly from Poland because we are just starting and building our technology.
Okay. Well, they serve international customers. Where can people find out more about your startup?
Just go to our webpage, put in Google Space to Grow, or contact me, and we will find something for you.
We will put some of his contact, but where can people find you?
On LinkedIn for sure. I have also a Twitter account or X account right now, but I don't use it very much, so I prefer just LinkedIn. So or
Okay.
email. But
LinkedIn, look for his name. We will add it in the details. You can see it in the video description. And yeah, I have your LinkedIn account. Check it on the video description. Reach out to Adam. What's your Twitter handle? X handle.
Story
or-
Blacksmith.
Story Blacksmith. Check it out. And amigo Adam, I think that we're cutting it up here, but check out his startup. If you need help, if you need coaching, international customers, he will have a second Mexican customer soon, I'm pretty sure. And amigo Adam, thank you very much for
Dziękuję,
coming.
przyjacielu.
Okay, I trust that was a good thing.
Yeah, it's thank you, my friend. Right.
Okay, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, amigo. Right?
Oh, he's better than I need to practice my Polish now. Then.
Sí, señor.
Okay.
Sorry.
He's humiliating me. Yeah, I need to learn a little bit more. I'll come back next Eurostar with some phrases that the pronunciation won't be great, but I'll be trying something. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, amigo. Thank you
You.
so much. It has been a pleasure.
Pleasure as well.
There you have it. Another of the great presenters here at the Eurostar Automation Star Conference. Stay tuned because this is not the only one for the day. The day is only starting, and we're going to have more adventures today. We have later, I think, two more interviews. Stay tuned. Awesome presenters, international. Actually, I see one walking over there. You'll see this guy later. Yeah, he was back there, Jonathan Wright, but lots of adventures coming soon. Stay tuned. That in a few minutes, I think 30, we have the next interview. So, Automation Start 2024 from Vienna is still going, and we will keep talking to you. So, adios, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen. How do you say in Polish?
Do widzenia.
Okay. Bye bye. Take care. And we're out.